Okay, today we are going over 521, 522 homework for 6th grade. We're going to start with problem number 48. Ethan decided to give 10% of his monthly income to charity. This month, he wrote the calculation out right. Explain why this calculation is appropriate and finish it for him. How much money should he give this month? So he wrote down 1,526 times 0 and 1/10. So why this calculation is appropriate is because 0.1 equals 10%. So it is appropriate. Now, we need to finish the problem for him. So I'm going to multiply like normal. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. And then if we look here, I have one number that is behind the decimal point. So my decimal point is here. I needed to move it one place over. Now I am dealing with money, so it's not just 152 and 6/10. It's 60 cents. So he gives this month, Ethan should give $152.60. Okay, problem 50. Without using a calculator, solve the following decimal expressions. So I'm going to set this up. When I'm multiplying decimals, I do not need to line up my decimal points. Okay, remember, if we look at problem 48, I put the decimals in at the end. So I don't need them until the end. So 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 0 is 0 times 2, or plus 2, which is 2. 7 times 0. Now I could keep going, but see where my ones place value, it's 0. So I know everything else is going to be a 0, so I can just be done here, okay? What I'm going to do then is I'm going to count how many numbers are behind my decimal. So I have 1, 2, 3. So my decimal moves 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. So my answer is 0 and 28 hundredths. 0 and 28 thousandths. Sorry. I'm going to cross that out. 0.028. 0 and 28 thousandths. Okay, number 2. 1 and 8/10 times 3/10. 3 times 8, 24. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Again, I'm going to show you this time what I meant with the zeros. I can put a 0 in, going to the next place value. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. I add them together. I have 1, 2 numbers behind the decimal. So 1, 2 numbers. So my answer is 0 and 54 hundredths. Okay. Write each fraction as a decimal and as a percent. So 1/4, I'm going to get it to a fraction out of 100 if I can. That's my percent. 4 times 25 is 100. 1 times 25 is 25. So it's 25%, which is 0 and 25 hundredths. 19/25, I'm going to do the same thing. If I can get it to a fraction out of 100, I'm good. So 25 times 4. I don't know why I wrote 2's down. 25 times 4 and 19 times 4. I don't know 19 times 4 off the top of my head. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 1 is 4, 5, 6, 7. 76 hundredths, which is 76%, which is 0 and 76 hundredths. 3 halves, 2 times 50, 3 times 50. So 2 times 50 is 100. 3 times 50 is 150. It's 150%. I move my decimal 2 places over, so it's 1.50. 1 and 50 hundredths. Part D, 3/8. I can't get 8 into 100 evenly, so I'm just going to divide. 3 divided by 8. 8 goes into 3 0 times. I can add a decimal, drop my 0. 8 goes into 30 3 times, which is 24. Which has a 6 left over. I add a 0, drop it down. 8 goes into 67 times. Add a 0, drop it down. 8 goes into 45 times. And I'm done. I bring my decimal up. So my decimal is 0 and 375 thousandths. If I move my decimal 2 places to the right, I get 37.5%. On the other side, multiply to find the percents below. So 8% of 150, I just have to write my percent as a decimal. So I move my decimal point 2 places to the left, 0.08 times 150. I can show my work over here. 150 times 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry my 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. Because of these zeros, again, I don't have to keep going. I count how many numbers are behind my decimals. I move my decimal 2 points over. My answer is 12. I do the same thing for part B. My decimal moves 2 places over. So it's 0.085 times 150. Okay, I'm going to start here. So 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. I'm going to my next place value, so I have to put in my placeholder. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry my 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. I have zeros left, so I can be done. 0 plus 0, 5 plus 0, 7 plus 0, 2 plus 0, and 1 plus 0. I count the number behind my decimal, it's 3. So 1, 2, 3. 12 and 75 hundredths. I could keep my 0 at the end if I want. Okay, problem 65. Find the missing side lengths of each rectangle, solve for the variable. So I know my areas. So I know area is length times width. So I have 100 times x equals 500. Well, 100 times what is 500? It's 5. I have 64 equals 8 times a number. 8 times a number to get to 64. 64 divided by 8 is 8. For this one, we are solving for R, so 82 centimeters equals 5 times R. Well, 5 doesn't go into 82, but I need to divide 82 by 5 to get to my answer, because to multiply it, I have to get my answer, right? To undo it, I have to divide. 5 goes into 8 one time. 5 goes into 32 6 times. I add a decimal. 5 goes into 24 times, and I bring my decimal up. So R equals 16 4/10 centimeters. 25 equals 5 times a number. 25 divided by 5 is 5. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.